Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're doing today, folks. Walking on sunshine. It does feel good, folks. Beautiful day in San Antonio, ladies and gentlemen. Plenty of sunshine out there, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to City Sightseeing Tours. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas, my friends. My name is John, and I'm going to be your guide and your driver for about the next hour. Unless somebody needs to go to the restroom, I'll be right here, and I'll do everything I can. Yes, that's it. Oh, get off the bus. I'm just kidding, No, you're forgetting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first stop will be the Pearl, so we'll be there in about 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll tell you more about the Pearl as we get closer to it. There's a lot going on tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday at the Pearl, so you guys need to listen up. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But right now, I'm going to play a little recording of something that we're known for here in San Antonio, and that is freedom. And I'll be right back.
Originally named Mission San Antonio de Valero, the Alamo served as home to missionaries and the Indian converts for nearly 70 years. Construction began on the present site in 1724. In 1793, Spanish officials secularized San Antonio's five missions and distributed their lands to the remaining 41 residents. San Antonio and the Alamo played a critical role in the Texas Revolution. In December 1835, then Milam led Texan and Tejano volunteers against Mexican troops quartered in the city. After 5 days of house-to-house fighting, they forced General Martin Perfecto de Force and his soldiers to surrender. The victorious volunteers then occupied the Alamo, already fortified prior to the battle by Cossa's men. On February 23, 1836, the arrival of General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna's army outside San Antonio nearly caught them by surprise. Undaunted, the Texans and Tejanos prepared to defend the Alamo together. The defenders held out for 13 days against Santa Anna's army. William B. Travis, the commander of the Alamo, sent forth couriers carrying pleas for help to communities in Texas. On the 8th day of the siege, a band of 32 volunteers from Gonzales arrived, bringing the number of defenders to nearly 200. Legend holds that with the possibility of additional help fading, Colonel Travis drew a line on the ground and asked any man willing to stay and fight to step over. All except one did. As the defenders saw it, the Alamo was the key to the defense of Texas, and they were ready to give their lives rather than surrender their position to General Santa Anna. Among the Alamo's garrison were Jim Bowie, renowned night fighter, and David Crockett, famed frontiersman and a former congressman from Tennessee. The final assault came before daybreak on the morning of March 6, 1836, as columns of Mexican soldiers emerged from the pre-dawn darkness and headed for the Alamo's walls. Cannon and small arms fire from inside the Alamo beat back several attacks. Regrouping, the Mexicans scaled the walls and rushed into the compound. Once inside, they turned to capture the cannon of the Long Barrack Church, blasting open the barricaded doors. The desperate struggle continued until the defenders were overwhelmed. By sunrise, the battle had ended and Santa Anna had entered the Alamo compound to survey the scene of the city. While the facts surrounding the siege of the Alamo continue to be debated, there is no doubt about what the battle has been symbolized. People worldwide continue to remember the Alamo as a heroic struggle against the hostile odds. A place where men made the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. For this reason, the Alamo remains hallowed ground and shrine of Texas liberty.
Over the years, San Antonio has expanded quickly from around 4,000 in 1850 to 50,000 by the turn of the century to 400,000 by 1950 and then over 1 million by the year 2000. And it's still growing. The city has a diversified economy.
Man. Carlos Cortez. Cortez is a third-generation sculptor in San Antonio, ladies and gentlemen. His whole family has been here for many years. And you can actually find a lot of their artwork on the Riverwalk, folks. Now, this is the newest section of our Riverwalk right here, y'all. This was completed back in 2009, right on time when they opened up the Pearl. Beautiful spot, this area.
The museum offers art of the Americas, including pre-Columbian, Spanish colonial, and Latin American folk art. The museum also has a comprehensive collection of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman art. We will pause momentarily for folks who want to hop off and visit the museum. Please watch your step and check with your driver for the day's bus schedule.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is stop number 3 for the San Antonio Museum of Art right here, y'all.
We're going to cross our river.
Once again, guys, now this is a very famous part of our Riverwalk right here, y'all. And that's because back in 1941, this is where the Riverwalk started, right there on the right, y'all. This is the original Riverwalk that dates back to 1941. Now that's back when the Riverwalk was only 2.5 miles long. Well, that river has grown quite a bit since then, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Because it's now over 30 miles long, folks. 30 miles long and still growing.
Oh, nice.
Because they do have plans on making the Riverwalk longer in the next few years. Our next stop is right here at this stop sign. This is stop number 7. It's really a hotel stop. Now y'all see that gray building right across the street? Right there in front of us, folks. That is called the Tobin Center for the Performing Arts. That is where you'll find our San Antonio Symphony and the San Antonio Ballet perform here. Now this is the back side of the Tobin that I'm showing y'all right now. This was added to the original building back in 1994 after a fire destroyed the back half of it. Now I'm going to show you all the front of the Tobin, where it hasn't changed much throughout the years, folks. Since it was built back in 1926. You're going to see quite a difference here between the old and the new. Yeah, they're getting ready for the marathon tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. They're putting on little arrows to show the runners where to run. Alright guys, our next stop is right here, stop number 8. For Veterans Memorial Plaza. This is where you'll find the Vietnam and the Korean War memorials. Stop number 8. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all brought your ice skates with you. Because for the second year in a row, we now have an ice skating rink here at Travis Park. It's right there on the right, across the street there. This has become a very popular attraction. Now, it doesn't open till 5. But this place will be jam-packed full of ice skaters later on. And also, this is where they have the city's Christmas tree. It's right there in the middle of the park, folks.
But it's obviously not really ice. And like the it's not
This is stop number 9 right here for Travis Park, ladies and gentlemen, if anyone does wish to get off.
Coming up shortly on our left is the Buckhorn Museum and Saloon and Texas Ranger Museum. The oldest saloon in Texas was started by Albert Friedrich, a young businessman, in 1881. He discovered as many.
Want to learn a lot about Texas and have a little fun doing it? Well, this is the stop you need to make. Stop number 10. But the Buckhorn Saloon and the Texas Ranger Museum is right here. Stop number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all be careful coming down.
Well, that's 10, that's 11, that's where we started.
All right. You're welcome. You'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. It's going to be right down
Have a
here.
good time, ladies. All right, now here we go.
Then this is tomorrow.
Stop 11 is the downtown Riverwalk, folks. This is one of two places you can hop off the bus and hop on a boat. Right here at stop 11. You can also do it at stop number 1. Stop 11, the downtown Riverwalk, right here. Y'all have a great evening, folks. And as soon as we get on top of this bridge, folks, I want y'all to look off to your right and left, okay? As soon as we get on top of this bridge, because I'm going to show you San Antonio's second Riverwalk, y'all. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. San Antonio's second Riverwalk, and here it is. It's called the San Pedro Creek Culture Park. Now, it's still under construction. They haven't finished it yet. They finished this part. It looks really nice. And when they're done with it, it's going to be about 2.5 miles long. But it's not going to be anything like our original Riverwalk, where you find all kinds of bars and restaurants and things like that. It's going to be different. It's going to be a place where one can go and look at some beautiful artwork and scenery. San Antonio's second Riverwalk. The San Pedro Creek Culture Park. That's the name of it. Coming soon to the Alamo City, folks. Stop 13, ladies and gentlemen, from Market Square. Come on in, y'all. Thank you, ma'am. Oh, I know you do. I know you do. Come on in, y'all. Thank you, ma'am. Sir. How y'all doing? Doing great. Living the dream. Hi, sir. Hey, guys, come on in. Hi, y'all. All right, nobody running for us. I don't see anybody down there. But I guess mostly we're known for the Alamo, rightly so. But we're also known as Military City, USA. That's because of all the military bases that we have here in San Antonio. And we have quite a few. Did you know that everyone who joins the United States Air Force has to come to San Antonio? We have the only boot camp one here at Lackland Air Force Base. Well, here in just a bit, I want to show y'all something. First of all, there's that HEB store right there on the left. But right behind this HEB store is a 17-acre tract of land that I want to show y'all real quick, folks. Right here on the left-hand side was San Antonio's very first official military installation, y'all. This was known as the United States Arsenal. It was an ammunition depot, and it was built by the United States Army in 1858. It was also used during the Civil War, but it wasn't used by the United States Army, folks. It was used by the Confederate Army. As a matter of fact, the Confederate Army took this place by force even before the war started. But after the war, well, we all know how that ended. It fell back into the hands of the United States government, and again, it was used during World War I and World War II, folks. A lot of ammunition came out of here and went overseas. But after World War II, the government abandoned this place. It fell into ruins. All the buildings were falling apart. It was overgrown with weeds. It was just a really ugly eyesore during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It wasn't until 1982 when somebody came to the rescue. And that somebody was HEB, the largest grocery store chain in the nation. They bought this place, and they turned it into their corporate headquarters right here in San Antonio. And let me tell you something, y'all, they've done an amazing job at preserving these buildings. They didn't knock a single building down. They kept them all, they fixed them up, they made them look good again, y'all. Now, folks, there's two rectangle-shaped buildings sitting side by side right there on the left, right there to our left, folks. Those were the arsenal buildings. That's where all the ammunition and supplies were stored. Now, folks, these buildings are 6 stories tall. But what's really amazing, ladies and gentlemen, is that they also go 6 stories underground. And that is quite an amazing accomplishment for the time that they were built, folks.
Till they bring that old crack midnight bell. When the lights went down low, the freedom picked up his phone. And they took and stayed the answer low. And my sister Eileen and her husband Tootie, they held hands and began to.
The King William neighborhood, the Gunther House, the Riverwalk Pier, and the Blue Star Arts Complex, which is these buildings right here on the right. Alright, here we go. Now, for those of you who still don't know where the Gunther House is, let me show you real quick. As we get on top of the bridge, if you look off to your left, you'll see a 2-story home with a green roof on it. Right over there on the left, y'all. That's the Gunther House, folks. It's part of the King William neighborhood. Now, the King William neighborhood, you can get to it by taking a left right here on Gunther Street. That's where you'll find all those beautiful homes, folks. This is a very beautiful area of San Antonio, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you need to do a little sightseeing, a little San Antonio stroll. Beautiful church coming up on our right here. This church was built back in 1926. It was home to the Alamo Methodist Church. And I did say was, because it's no longer a church, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't been a church since 1952. Although it has been a lot of other things, and the last thing that it was a place called Frank's Hot Dogs and cold beer. It just went out of business this past year. Another interesting little business, or building right here on the left, is pink and white building. That used to be a convent of the St. Benedictine nuns, built in 1914. Now the Liberty Bar and Grill, y'all. Now we're coming up on a really nice area of San Antonio as well, ladies and gentlemen. You can also get to the King William neighborhood and the Riverwalk at our next stop, stop 16. But there's also a whole bunch of really good restaurants up and down this street. There's some art galleries out here, antique stores, all kinds of boutiques in there, folks. This is a really nice area of San Antonio to hop off at. We're coming up on 16. Now later on this evening, it is the first Friday of the month, so they're going to have a block party up and down this street right here. They'll have all kinds of vendors, music, all the restaurants will be open, all the bars will be open. Just a fun time to be here on a Friday night. This is stop 16 for southbound zones. And the San Bernardo Cathedral, and check out that laser light show that they have there, folks. That starts at 8 o'clock tonight. Or do a boat tour along our beautiful Riverwalk right now. Y'all. It's beautiful this time of year. Whatever you do, just get out there and have fun, y'all. And remember, once again, I can't stress this enough, folks. This weekend is going to be a bear, okay? We're not going to be able to make a lot of our stops. So just be prepared for that if you ride the bus. Now there is another bus waiting for us to continue the tour if you'd like. It'll be leaving here in just a few minutes. If y'all have any questions or comments,
enjoyed our tour and found it entertaining as well as informative. Please keep your ticket safe, as you may like to use it to hop back on later, or for a discount on one of our many other city sightseeing open-top city bus tours worldwide. Here at Alamo Plaza is an excellent place to find somewhere to eat, drink, or go shopping. If you haven't yet had a proper look in and around the Alamo itself, we strongly recommend that you do before you leave town, and take your camera with you. Opposite the Alamo are many popular tourist attractions, and down just a few steps is the heart of our marvelous Riverwalk.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on our final destination up here, y'all. The bus right there in front of us is the next one.